Hello, Steve outside 9. Well, I'm continuing my Kylie touring marathon. I watched all her music videos, there's about 90 plus of them. Then I started watching the concerts because I hadn't really seen any of them. I'd seen her live twice, but I hadn't really watched any of her concerts, even though I'd actually bought 6 of them. I just had not found the time to watch them, so I've been a very bad Kylie fan. But yeah, so I got up to her 5th concert, which was intimate and live in Sydney, which was the first time I felt like she really got who she was, because before that she didn't seem to know what she was doing in the beginning, and then she just seemed to be copying Madonna, and then she did finally seem to come into her own and work out who she was as an artist. She took a few years off, where she was basically just working for other artists and not being as prolific, and didn't tour for 7 years. And then when she came back, she seemed to have herself together, and it was quite a relief after knowing Kylie as a performer in that way, and then going back and seeing how she started and seeing her slowly sort of evolve into the person that we sort of know now was kind of difficult to do. But yeah, so then I got up to, what was it? On a Night Like This. That one was quite big. The arena was big, the stage was big. It had a Broadway feel about it, and that sort of overstayed its welcome a little bit, but it still had that gravity to it where just everything seemed so big and large, and all the audience seemed to be involved in everything. And the weirdest thing about that was seeing her do Can't Get You Out of My Head before anyone knew what it was, because it was a new song that was going to come out on the next album, and she played it in the tour, and people were like, oh, yeah, it's okay. And obviously they didn't have any idea what was coming, with that being the huge hit that it was. And then, Fever, of course. Fever was amazing. One of the weirder things is Kylie was definitely copying Madonna in the early days, but I think Madonna has copied her since. I was seeing some things and I'm like, okay, this was 2 years before, this show or that show, or, before Sticky and Sweet, or, I'm just watching it, I'm like, okay. But then, so I could sort of see Kylie was copying Drowned World a little bit. And I'm like, well, I guess Madonna felt like it's time for me to take a few things back, and she copied a few things, which I'm not going to go into the details, but it was sort of surprising. And also the scale of Kylie's performances in general, but particularly Fever, was huge. It had this big, huge set, and the production design with her coming up, which she kind of copied from Michael Jackson, totally, where he comes up in like a metal spacesuit. And she did the same thing. And then she has all the dances, which are pretty much made up like the silver sort of robots that they were in the Brit Awards performance. So that, and just overall the production kept coming and coming and coming, and I was really surprised. I'm like, how much did they spend on this? When did someone finally realise Kylie, was worth investing some money in and putting together a big show? But they eventually did. And then we get to Showgirl, of course. Although, I'm still sort of on Fever. It was just so big. It felt like a Madonna concert, production-wise. It felt like she had finally arrived production-wise. Now, Showgirl was even bigger. And I'm like, it's too big. It's just, it feels alienating. It's just so huge. The size of the stage, and Kylie was in character pretty much the whole concert up until like the last 15 minutes, and she just came out as herself a little bit. And I'm like, we needed that to know that underneath the performance, it's you. It didn't really work. It was too cold. It was too big. It just felt very distant. And the production was beautiful, though. And like I said, it was kind of consistent. She didn't really break character, and they didn't really break the themes all the way through. It was really great on that level, superficially. But then we got to the Homecoming tour, which was after she was diagnosed with cancer and took a year off. That was totally different. She right away was talking to the audience and letting us know sort of, that, it's me, I'm just, playing a game, I'm performing. And she did go into character for some songs, and they were quite beautiful. And a lot of the staging was a lot more energetic and less static and showy. So I think the Homecoming version is better than the actual Showgirl tour. Now, what was next? Is it going to go? No. There we go. Of course, Kylie X. That was... I don't know, they just keep getting more stunning. I'm really surprised. I never realised that she had reached the level that she did of production as far as the money they were spending on her, because she started off very humbly with barely 2 cents to rub together, even to the point where Intimate Live came. They had like one set that they had on stage the whole time and no money at all, obviously. They are blending a bit together at the moment, honestly. Kylie X, I mean, it was just a continuation of the same quality, and that was the other thing. There was this growth up until about that point, and then it's sort of like she got to this level and just sort of stayed there. For me, that was surprising. The concert she did for America, it's very Gaga, and that was the other thing about X. It was very Gaga as well, which I didn't sort of pick up on right away. So then she sort of started copying Gaga a little bit, but it's a bit too much. Like, she comes out in like an alien pretty much in the first scene, and it takes a while to get back to just contemporary Kylie, which works better. Now, this wasn't a official video. I was watching something on YouTube. Someone had taped. They'd sort of edited it together, and it did quite a good job, but the overall footage wasn't the greatest quality. But it's basically just reworking. That's probably the only criticism I will give Kylie later on. She got the production levels up, but then she just recycles stuff a lot, which is something Gaga does as well. They tend to just recycle things and just do slightly different versions of something, as opposed to totally recreating or doing something new. One thing a lot of fans hate about Madonna is she wouldn't do the old music, she wouldn't do the songs the way people wanted them done, but she always did something different. Whereas Kylie, she's a bit like, so more like Cher than Gaga, where she does sort of recycle things. I mean, they're virtual perfection, so why wouldn't you? But it is a thing. Now, I didn't see the... I haven't watched all the Kiss Me Once tour, honestly, because I watched the 1 hour special, which is basically the concert just shortened. And she did a Christmas special as well. And, of course, she did the iHeart Radio. That was 90 minutes as well, which is basically of that era. The costumes, the sets, stuff like that. It's all basically that tour. I saw Golden in person, and that was a smaller production. And as much as I hate the Sydney Myer Melbourne Music Bowl and how difficult it was to get a seat, because there were so many people trying to get a seat because it's a small venue and there's a big lawn section and not seated areas, it did feel more intimate and a little smaller and warmer and not so big. Like, Showgirl was just so huge. It was just like, just so distant and alienating, I felt. I have to keep looking to remember which ones are which. Then I watched the Christmas special as well. I think I'm out of order now. But that was interesting as well, seeing her at the Royal Albert Hall or whatever it is. And just all these... It still baffles me as an Australian to sort of really grasp how big she is in the UK and how she has these giant audiences. Everyone loves Kylie and knows Kylie. I'm like, that's our Kylie. How do you know her? I don't understand. And then she did another... summer concert thing, which is sort of going around, I think, a lot of the festivals and things, and performing like in live air venues and stuff like that. I haven't seen any of that footage. She did one for the Step Back in Time definitive collection, but now she's doing a residency in America, and I'm like, I think this is a mistake. I think she should have started touring Europe already and being really touring with Padam Padam and Tension, which are the best songs from the album, the only ones that are going to be hits. And the actual album itself, I think she's hurting her sales by just focusing on America and setting up a residency and just staying there. Maybe she'll tour after that, but she'll sort of be, she will have lost that momentum and everything. So it's been interesting to go through her whole career, looking at all her concerts, all the tours, to see her grow and get to the level that she finally got to, kind of go a bit too far and then come back down and sort of settle down to the still relatable, not so much the performance, the character, the showgirl character. I don't think people really want to see that. They want to see Kylie and see Kylie be open and talk about sing about her real experiences, which she sort of does more now. But yeah, it's been a few days watching these shows. And I can't believe I went all that time without watching them. I can't believe I bought 6 concerts of hers on DVD and Blu-ray, and didn't watch any of them. And I'm just watching them now. And I'm like, why? But then again, I think I've got Pink concerts I haven't watched. I didn't watch Miley's concert, but I did go to Miley's concert. But some of the concerts I went to, I bought the DVDs so I'd have them, and then I didn't watch them because I felt like I just didn't have time to watch something I'd already seen. I usually only watch something once because I so many things I haven't seen. I don't have time to watch things twice usually, unless it's something I really love, like Star Trek or yeah. But I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. I really just wanted to do a bit of a performance review of Kylie's sort of whole career, which took 2 whole videos of 10 minutes to do, because she's done about 17 tours if you count the summer ones, and she did a tour of the Christmas special as well afterwards, and it's a lot, but it was a lot of fun watching it all, and I think I'm going to revisit these.